Rome and speak to Martin Penner. Martin is the spokesperson for the World Food Programme. Martin, welcome to the programme. First of all, what sort of food are we talking about here? Is it a standard supermarket basket or very specific particular crops?
Good evening. Well, yes, the food index that the Food and Agriculture Organization works out has various sections, and it talks about sugars, grains, different types of food. And in fact, we've seen this time that across the board, prices have gone up, which is exceptional in itself. My own organization, the sister organization of the World Food Programme, we look at a basic food basket, the standard foods that an average family in the countries where we work would buy. And we've seen that those prices are going up as well. In fact, in about 11 countries where we work, we've seen those food baskets go up by more than 10%, which is worrying.
And do you have any sort of case studies, examples, evidence of increasing food prices affecting people's ability to feed themselves?
Well, absolutely. Food prices, when they rise, they work as a misery multiplier. I mean, they affect the people that we serve, the poorest of the poor, but they also affect those people who are on the edge of hunger, people who are probably just about making ends meet, maybe spending 3/4 of their income on food to keep their family going, and then suddenly food prices come in and boom, then you see you're in trouble because you're just making it before, but now you're really struggling.
And when you're looking at different countries, the countries that the WFP works in, do you see a difference in terms of supply, shortages, production, and all of the issues the pandemic has raised regarding countries that are largely self-sufficient in feeding their populations versus countries that have to import most of their food?
Yeah, you hit on an important point there. We're seeing this in many countries where we work, in West Africa and a bit in the Middle East, but not only there. We see that the big food importers are the ones that are struggling because, of course, these are often countries who have economic problems at home. Perhaps their currencies are weaker, so food prices go up and it becomes very difficult for them to import the food that they need for their populations. Then, of course, prices on local markets go up and it's more misery, I'm afraid.
I don't know if you're an economist, Martin, but there is an economic impact here as well, isn't there? Because if there's such a high demand for food, but the supply is low, that's going to push up inflation. And food has also been quite a standard measurement of general inflation anyway.
Yeah, I'm not an economist, and you shouldn't really quote me on issues to do with the economy. But yeah, you can say that when any basic student of economy knows that when there's a scarcity of a product, then prices will go up. I mean, what we're seeing is that it's rather patchy. There are differences locally depending on local supply chain issues or specific imports, but it's a pattern that's recurring around the world. I would just like to say that what this issue of high food prices, it also affects us, the World Food Programme. We buy a lot of food every year to distribute to the people that we serve. And of course, if food prices are going up, it means we're paying more for the food that we distribute. And with the same money, I can tell you, for example, wheat. We buy a lot of wheat. And already this year, we're paying 13% more than we were paying last year. So that's one of the ways it affects us. And of course, it also affects us because food prices increase the number of people who need food assistance. So from our point of view, it's a double whammy. Our own prices go up and there are more people who need our support.
Absolutely. Have you received any news from donors who may be prepared to put up some more money for your work?
There are, listen, it's a worrying time because the donor nations around the world, they've suffered in ways. Their economies have been set back by COVID. They already shelled out a lot of money last year to provide support packages to stimulate the economy. So they're struggling. At the same time, the people that we serve around the world need need help more than ever. And I am a bit concerned about what's going to happen this year, to be honest. At the same time, I was happy to see that the G7 a few weeks ago did make a commitment to focus on food security around the world. And so I'm hopeful that our donors, who in the past have been so generous, will continue to support us this year, because it's this year really that is the crunch moment. This is the moment when we need them more than ever.
Sure. Martin, really appreciate you coming onto the program to talk about this really important issue. Martin Penner, spokesperson for the World Food Programme.
Thank you very much.